Welcome to beautiful Victoria, British Columbia. And this is the all-new Kia Sportage, or since we're in Canada, Sportage. And for 2023, it's been completely redesigned. Okay, let's take a little tour of the exterior of this brand new Sportage. This new car is built off of Kia's N3 platform. So this entire vehicle is longer and it's wider. The wheelbase is 85 millimeters longer as well, which is about 3.3 inches longer, which is gonna give us more room on the interior, and we'll talk about that when we get inside here. So on the outside though, you have a very distinctive but very recognizable tiger nose grille. It's kind of really small, that tiger nose, but that front grille area goes straight across side to side. You get boomerang LEDs in the DRLs, and it has a very modern design to it. Now we're driving the X-Line Limited. The X-Line gives you a little bit more of the rugged look. If you don't want to go for that, you can go for the non-X-Line as well. Wheel sizes start at 17 inch all the way up to 19 inch that we have with this X-Line Limited here. So when we head to the back, you can see you do have LED tail lamps. If you go on to the top trim that we have here, you get full LED. On the lower trims, you do get LEDs with a regular bulb integration. So up comes that power trunk. Now the power liftgate only comes on the EX Premium and up. And when you get that power liftgate, it comes as a smart liftgate. So if you have that key fob in your pocket, you get close to it, beep, 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 up it comes. You do have a close button, but once you open it up, you have a dual stage floor, so you can configure it how you want there. Underneath that floor, you do have a spare tire, which is a big bonus. A lot of people like spare tires. You have a 12-volt outlet, and what I like is you have releases for that second row right in the rear there, so you don't have to open the back doors to fold those seats down. This X-Line does have that rugged type of look, a lot more use of black, and you even have those black ladder style roof rails. I don't know what the load capacity is for those roof rails, but probably you could probably get a two-person tent up there. I'm not sure. I will verify that, and I'll leave that in the comments when we get that information. So onto the inside, we recently tested the Kia EV6. If you haven't watched that review, and we compared that with the Ioniq 5, I'll leave a link right down below there. It's a really, really good video, so make sure to watch that. But if you're familiar with the interior of the EV6, well, it's pretty familiar in here as well. All that goodness has kind of filtered down into this new Sportage. So in this top trim, we have this large wraparound curved screen. So you have two 12.3 inch screens. They're put together, but they look as if they're all one. Now, if you don't go for the top trim here, you can get the 12.3 inch with a 4.2 inch driver display. And what's kind of unusual is that it's a 4.2 inch screen in the middle, but it's flanked by two digital displays. So it is kind of like a 12.3 inch screen. It looks really good. It looks very natural. It's just not as configurable as the full 12.3 inch that we have here. You get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. On the larger screens though, it is not wireless, so just be aware of that. And what's new with this, if you get the top of the line with the larger screen, you can get the blind spot view monitor. So when you actually turn your signal on, it actually shows the camera view from either side of the car, whatever turn signal you have on. Also, you have a surround view monitor, so you get that nice 360 view when you're parking. Now, unfortunately, that only comes in the top trim. Now, also be aware, We are in Canada right now. These are Canadian trims, so make sure to check with your local Kia website, because where you live, you may have, your trims may differ a little bit. They're going to be similar, but they might be called something different, for instance. So make sure to check that out. But in Canada, that around view monitor comes on the top trim, and unfortunately, you can't get it on any other trims. And it's really one of my pet peeves. I understand it's for packaging, but also really drives you to try to, get that top package. But maybe you don't want all the top of the line stuff, but you really want that feature, because I'm telling you, my wife will barely drive anything. She doesn't want to drive anything that doesn't have that feature, and I understand it, because once you have it, you really, really enjoy using that around view monitor, especially the curved views. It saves getting all that rim rash and stuff like that. So, if manufacturers are listening here, especially Kia, offer it as a standalone, and if like say another extra $1,000, I'd pay it. That's me though. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below. And down below, you have the integrated HVAC control / volume control. We saw the EV6. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's like I get, I want to turn the radio up and I just end up getting really hot. Or the other way around. Not a huge fan, but you'll get used to it. I think it would be even better if they just integrated, if you wanted to make a dual panel like they have, just make it into that volume knob and just push that knob instead of having to push that little area there in that touch screen. This also has a conventional shifter. When you get into the upcoming hybrid and the PHEV, you'll get the shift by wire, which you'll get the knob instead of the conventional shifter. You have your drive mode selector here. So we are in regular, normal. We can put into sport mode, and whoa, wow, our faces got peeled back. No, they didn't. But anyways, we're going to talk about the engine in a second here. This knob will also control your terrain modes. The base trim gets standard heated cloth seats. When you get up to the higher trims, like this limited X line, you get the synthetic leather. They're not only heated, but they're ventilated as well. And we have a heated steering wheel. And one thing I'm not sure about, these headrests, they look cool, but they seem like they push my head too far forward, and I found the same thing with the EV6. That might be just the way that I drive and how my driving position is, but what's kind of unique is in the back of them, they've integrated an actual a coat rack, or not rack, but a hook, so you can hang things like your coat on the back. As well, there's a hook on the back of this seat for grocery bags, whatever you want to hook on there, so apples don't go flying all over the place. They have that as well. And also on the sides, you have USB outlets on the side of the seat, so they're easy to reach. Now in the back, because of that extended wheelbase, you have more room, more cargo room as well. But the biggest thing, you have 88 millimeters more leg room. Makes it easier to get in and out of. And yeah, for a compact SUV, it's actually quite roomy in the back there. And one thing that makes it feel even more roomy is this large, full-length panel roof. When you get back there, you're just like, yeah, you got a lot of room. There's ample storage in this compact SUV, by the way. In the door pockets, they're fairly wide. You can put a decent-sized water bottle there. Speaking of bottles, the center console holds 2, but they are configurable drink holders, which is kind of interesting. Maybe you don't want to use it for drink holders, maybe put your phone there. By the way, there is wireless charging available depending on what model you get. And if you're wondering about windows, you have auto up down on the front windows only, but the rear windows do roll all the way down, which is really nice. Sometimes they don't do that, so great when you have kids. Overall, I think they've done a great job in the design and the style of the exterior, especially the interior of here, where you're going to spend the most time. And it does feel like you're driving something very similar to an EV6 for how it feels, how it looks. Even the mirrors have a very similar shape to that EV6. So let's talk about the drive. For the first time ever, the Sportage is going to be available with 3 separate power plants. So the first to be introduced is what we're driving right now. That's a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, and that puts out 187 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. That's matched to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And once again, that's what we have right here. The base model is available with just front-wheel drive. For $2,000 more, you can add in Kia's own in-house designed all-wheel drive system, and the other models above that, you're going to get all-wheel drive. Now, if you go into the next power plant, you're going to get a hybrid version, and that is going to be a 1.6-liter turbocharged engine. So the combined output of that one is going to net you 227 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque, and that's also matched to a 6-speed automatic transmission. And once again, we mentioned that's going to be shift by wire. And the last is going to be the Sportage PHEV with the plug-in hybrid, and that is going to give you 261 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. We don't know what the all EV range is going to be on that yet, because it's not quite out yet, but we will update you when we get that information. So let's talk about the drive of this particular one right now. With fuel prices going through the roof everywhere in North America, you can rejoice, because even if you don't go with the hybrid version or the PHEV, the gas only version gets 14% better fuel economy than the outgoing model. So just think of this, you're getting more features, you're getting a bigger vehicle, and you're gonna save fuel. That's a big win for everyone. All right, we put it into sport mode. We're on some twisty roads here. Now we are traveling literally across the island of Vancouver Island to a place called Port Renfrew, and we're on these basically these logging roads with these twisties. Suspension it's very neutral, and these aren't the smoothest roads at all. It's quite nice. Now this gas only engine doesn't have the most amount of power. Let's see, we have a straightaway here. We're doing 70 kilometers an hour. If we put our foot to the floor, there is 100 right there. It's adequate for this class of vehicle for sure. If we want more power, we can probably get that with that hybrid or that PHEV, but so far so good for these roads. Whoa! There's a good test of the suspension right there. That was a big, massive, well, multiple potholes there. And we don't have a flat tire yet. There you go. I think Kia has done an excellent job packaging. The Sportage is a very important vehicle in the Kia lineup. First of all, it is a compact SUV, which is the most popular segment in the automotive industry. Second, this is their second, very close to first, which is a Seltos selling vehicle in their lineup. So how did they do? I think they did very well. They took an already very capable, solid package, and they've transformed it into something that is more modern. It is bigger, it has more utility, it has a more mature look. And being on this new platform, not only is it giving you more room on the inside for the passengers and cargo capacity, but it's the stiffness matched with the suspension. I'm telling you, we hit some big bumps on some of these roads. Like, I'm surprised that this car is still in one piece and we still have tires left on it. And this thing handled it like a champ. But the main thing is, like, listen to this interior. Seriously, we're not on a really smooth road right now. It's raining out. I got the wipers going. But can you hear much? It is so quiet in here. And that's the one thing that really stands out for me, is how refined this driving experience really is. So if you're in the market for a compact crossover or SUV, for sure, this really should be on your list to have a look at. I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. And there are so many different trim levels that you can choose from, and the new power plants which are coming out soon. So what's it gonna cost you to get yourself into a 2023 Kia Sportage or Sportage? Well, the base LX, which is the front-wheel drive, starts at 28,395 Canadian dollars. Once again, $2,000 more, you're gonna get the all-wheel drive system. And then up from that, you'll go into the X line all-wheel drive, and that is just under $34,000. Above that, you go into the EX all-wheel drive, $35,595. The premium all-wheel drive is going to run you $37,595, and the top of the line X line Limited, remember it might be called something different wherever you live, is going to run you just over 40,000 Canadian dollars. So which one do you get? Well, it all depends what you need. Now the hybrid pricing just got released today for the Canadian pricing. So there are two trim levels. There's the EX, which goes for just under $36,000, and then there is the SX trim, which is essentially the top of the line. So all the features that you get with this X line Limited, you get in that SX, other than you don't get that more rugged X line look. And that's gonna run you $42,695, which is only $1,700 more than what this one is. To me, I think I would go for the hybrid. I think it's kind of a no-brainer. For $1,700, you're gonna get more power, and you're gonna get the same amount of a level of equipment, but you're gonna get better fuel economy. So yeah, that's what I would get. But we don't know about that PHEV yet though, and the pricing, because depending on where you live, that may qualify for some federal or provincial or state incentives for EVs, and that actually might bring it down to close to what the hybrid costs, and you're gonna get some really good EV range out of that. So it all depends what your needs are. That's it from rainy Vancouver Island. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and also leave a comment below. What do you think of this new Kia Sportage or Sportage? See you in the next review.